All right, welcome back to the part 69. So the last time I checked on YouTube Studio was yesterday. I didn't really check it very much because I was pretty much busy and all. So make sure to watch all my videos just so you know. I'm doing Teresa Lovins of class of 1984. So I was gonna sneeze for a second, but kind of sneezed a little bit, but not really much. Kind of coughed a little bit. Um, all right, Teresa, you have a lot of responses there. All right, um, so Joe Cunningham, the class of 1949, he's really old. So, just to remind you that I'll be doing him for part 70. And I'll be doing somebody else's story today. Whenever part I'm actually in. Teresa Lovins Grossman. It was my maiden name, so I graduated in 1984. Okay. During your high school experience with it, you made your historical moments that you remember distinctly. I was in high school through the 1982 Olympics when the hockey team won, so it was kind of like exciting. I think that if there was anything else that was really major, I think so. Really, what's in the school atmosphere? It's basically a messy, very strict. I think it was pretty laid back. Actually, we were allowed to do some kind of crazy things to our senior year, which I know that has not been such an interesting thing lately. But the journalism group of the yearbook makes sure that everything was kind of documented in the yearbook itself, or in order the staff, every team, like we there, where it was like a really kind of atmosphere that we hear that the students were here to learn, but yet have a good time and all that crap. Yeah, what did you enjoy the most? So, when I was in high school, I participated in the band where I met my future husband, so we marched together my sophomore year. So, when I was in high school, it's just my sophomore year and the junior year and the seniors here. So, I went for a Catholic school, teeny tiny school, 8th grade, and went to Central for ninth grade. And came over here for sophomore and junior year and senior year. So it was like a big change, but being a part of a band made me feel like I was a part of a school for day one when I walked in the door. Loved the classes for a bit of study book. So I really liked what I did in school too. Yeah. Okay. What was there? You were here at North or East. Okay. So what's Emily, there's every sport. Basketball was horrendously competitive. Football, our team was never as good as East during the time we supported him and really wanted to be a better team for the whole time. So was there just there's competition. Yeah, absolutely okay. You had a um, class. I had to say it is not an individual class. Pardon me. I love my math classes. I really enjoyed geometry. It was kind of an interesting class. My teacher had to take off for surgery, so we had a substitute and who didn't know geometry. So we tutored each other in class and learned how to do geometry. Then I love science, and I was able to do a semester of student teaching in science. So we got to assist it to you. Like know the classes where you get to dig in the animals. That was my favorite, and I absolutely loved Chuck Richardson. He's one of my who got me involved in science and kind of picked my interest, and he's the one that I actually student taught. So let me teach how to dissect the pig whenever I left high school. I wanted to be a science teacher, but I did not become a science teacher. I'm a how do you say that? How do you say that?
Physician.
Physician. Okay. I was kind of worried there, but I may not pronounce that kind of thing. But since I did not become a science teacher, since I'm a physician, so I teach every day about your body as a science. So it's kind of like an interesting kind of loop around to that. So yeah, believe it or not, I was in Noble Romans. Yes, I mean either one. I meant the one really close to school here, and the one that's out of the west side of town. They were just hopping places. You couldn't find a table to sit when we were in high school. Then everybody went there after the games and hung out what seemed like hours, but I'm sure it wasn't. No, it's like an empty place. It's kind of sad, so you don't remember your principal. No, mom. Did you have sex? No, we did not have a senior. No, I honestly did not thinking there was even a class where you could do like a big project like that. I don't think so. So I know that was from you. It was probably like a couple years later when I heard that they started was senior projects and they started mid east before they came to us. So I'm not sure that was a good thing. How big our senior class was like 495 students. Yes, East was about 320 students, so we were quite a big better than yourself. So yeah, it was truly 80s hair, big fluffy hair tots. Or hair lots of hairspray, be curly hair does, be never participated in those kind of big hair does. But everybody else did lots of more long hair, and I had short hair. I did not know it was like a lot of independence. Some people wore long things, like other people wore short things, so that kind of makes it turn back. So where we um, are now familiar clothing that I see people on people now. So yeah, so in your high school career, it was a defining moment. Like, for me, no, it was kind of weird from a personal standpoint. I think meeting my future husband was big, defining moment that I also think that just maybe not to brag, I graduated second in a class and still finding out that I was doing well because I didn't really think that I was doing that well was kind of like an interesting parlay into wow, maybe I didn't really know, maybe I do really know this stuff. I didn't think I so mean everybody else self doubts anyway, but I think that's the piece that gave me a little bit more confidence to be out there. But he remembered details about high school, so I didn't. So I don't. So yeah, absolutely. So while I was here at North, I was before we had a swimming pool and we won state swimming competition several years during that time frame. So they all practiced over at Northside, so we didn't have the pool in there. So it was really kind of a fun experience knowing that we supported in a swim team that made it to a state, and we had Will. I was on a manager of a basketball team. For the girls, we went to the regionals, which was really kind of interesting experience of a senior and lots of different things that happened. I mean, I got scrapbook after the scrapbook of things that happened, so I probably should have looked at them before you said that you were in the band. Did you enjoy it? Yes, absolutely. So I was in part of the auxiliary and band, so that's the ones how to throw the rifles and the flags and things. So it was a weird because of a marching band season, which is the fall semester that season ends. Then you have nothing to do about it until you get to next summer, but you still have that class in at school, so you had to figure out of what you do. So no, so like they kind of struck us into other instruments and things, and I'm not a musician, so that was an interesting experience. Like picking up an instrument and trying to be a part of that. So no, we're not in that team. Was no the team, but no, the team was really fun, and no, we ended up my senior year. But we went to Philadelphia, and marched to the parade there. Yes, there was a really weird one, that I told you I didn't remember the principal of my school application to the medical one. But one of my things I had to tell him who my principal was, and they had to write me a letter, a recommendation. I went to, I don't know what he would know me, and they said, well, that's because we're not support. That's not they're not supposed to know if you're going to middle school. I'm like, okay. So that was kind of an interesting experience. Or a very interesting experience is my senior year. Mr. Richardson sent me to detention because I have never been to detention before. He sent me a detention slip, and he said it can go back. You can go to the detention today. It's funny because he's like, I want you to experience a whole realm of high school experience of like that is not a place that you want to be. Well, watch out because there may be a teacher that gives you a detention. There's no, there's no space around it. I'll be reading you, Joe, at part 70. Okay, we're like halfway done. We have like one, two, three, four, five. 12 people. All right. Wait, did I read this already? Oh, I think I did, yeah. I did like copy Quinn. Yeah, that's what I did. Did I do ever assignments too? Well, not all of them, but did I do some of them assignments that I've done yet? I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I did one of the assignments or not because, like, all right, I'll be reading Jesse Williams' Period 7 class, which is Mrs. Schmidt, English 9 College Prep. Okay, so big dreams. Okay, this is kind of short, but okay. I dribbled the ball past the defender and watched it go through his legs, and I looked up and saw a chance in the top left corner to take a shot on goal for about 5 yards away from the 18. I took a chance and ring, 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 ring. My alarm went off for me to wake up and get the day started. It was my last day of school as an eighth grader at Northside Middle School. I was hoping for this day just since the start of school because I'm not much of a school guy. I enjoy spending time with my friends, but also on the day is consumed by school or homework. Me, Luke, and Will like to hang out over summer and play our favorite sport, soccer. And we were all really good for our age. We always wanted to accomplish on one goal by the end of summer to practice enough to get better and to make varsity as a freshman. We were pretty confident that this goal is very achievable, and that it won't just get handed to use. That we will have to work for it. We knew a very varsity players for our club team that we played but most of them did not know. We did not know. It was their first summer practice. It wasn't an actual practice, just summer training to get better. They noticed Luke right away and he did really good. He was a player, but he was good at finishing. About a week later, they started noticing Will was a really solid center mid. They came to me as time followed. We all did very good during the summer training. I wouldn't say any of us were better than the other, just about equal in all of our positions. We all hoped that we would do well in the tryouts tomorrow. It was the day tryouts. We all have been training since it's the start of summer. We worked so hard. We started with a few conditioning drills, and I did pretty well, as well as Will and Luke. They started scrimmaging, and they put us all up against the old varsity team. They scored a goal at the beginning to make it 1-0. Luke, um, Luke got the goal, and so did Will, and then they scored again 2 out of 2. But then it came down to the last 5 minutes, and I had the ball, and I dribbled the ball to pass the defender and watched it go through his legs, and I looked up and saw the chance out of the top left corner and take a shot on a goal for about 5 yards away from the 18. I took the chance and I scored. We won, and I got the winning goal, and thus free made varsity. To celebrate making varsity, we went to my house and played Fortnite. It was an amazing day. Jesse, your story is lit. Pardon me. Explore the conclusions. Minerals. On your Google Doc, answer all the following questions, write short answers, create lists or tables, or draw diagrams to complete the questions in the best way possible for yourself. What is a mineral? What are 4 processes that may form minerals? Name the major groups of minerals that you can get at least one example of minerals in each group. What is a crystal? What is a gemstone? What is Mohs hardness scale? List minerals that are associated with the scale. How is a scratch test preformed? What does it tell a researcher? What does applying a weak acid to tell to a mineral tell a researcher? What is asymmetry? How does it affect crystal growth? What are the six types of crystal symmetry systems? I'm going to leave this here. Okay, just to remind you guys, on Monday, I'll be going back to school on Monday. My spring break officially started to end. But that's okay, I can still have fun, I can still have a great time. Okay, so today in the afternoon I'll be going to the movies, probably gonna be some going out to eat, probably go out to Texas Red House. Um, we're gonna be talking a lot about stuff. We're not gonna be doing much. We're just gonna go out to eat and we're gonna go to movies. Um, we're gonna like go out to the movies and we're gonna do like two things today. Um, because my movie starts at like 3:15 I think. I'm not sure that's what my mom said, but um, I have to like double check. Um, so yeah, that's what I'll be going to do today. Do today, and I'll be posting a recent. I'll be posting one picture on Snapchat. I mostly just do Instagram. Like I normally do Instagram posts whenever I feel like it. Um, okay, so I mostly just do Snapchat because I have more followers. Please go follow my Snapchat. My Snapchat is like Quinn the actress. Um, and you can see the corner it says Quinn Simpson, and that's totally me. So make sure that you're looking the right person. Just like for me, for example, I had to look for like a fan of mine, which is Luke Simpson. I really thought that kid looked like I really thought that kid looks like Luke Simpson. So I really thought that was him. I really thought that Luke Simpson was um like a like a like a kid from my school, but he's not. He's like a different Luke. I don't know why I picked that wrong person, but I better be aware what person I'm trying to reach with. I thought you were the kid that goes to my school, but I I kind of got confused there. I'll try not to make that mistake again, even though that mistakes always happen. All right, what should I read? Because I have read recently, copy of a drug movie, lesson plan. Um, I think this one's for um, I think this one's for health class. I think this one's for health. Lesson plan. Goal. Students will analyze drug abuse and addiction. Agenda. Watch opioid. Chris's video. Movie link. You can actually click that here. Exit ticket. On the whiteboard, write down one thing you learned. You learned. Video questions. How to identify a mineral. Alright, so um, video questions. How to identify a mineral. What are the 5 qualities listed at the start of the video for identifying minerals? What is a color? Why is color not a reliable characteristic to use for mineral identification? What is a streak? How do you test for a streak? What is a luster? What are the two main types of luster? What are all the subtypes of luster listed in the video? Um, I mean, there's no video. I mean, there's no video, Mr. Merton. Did you forget? What is a breakage? What is a mineral cleavage? What is a mineral fracture? What is hardness? What scale is used to determine hardness? If a mineral can scratch a piece of glass and it has a hardness greater than what? What mineral reacts when exposed to acid? What mineral glows under UV light? What mineral tastes like salt? What causes all the minerals' physical properties? Okay, so the mineral tastes like salt, like when something tastes when foods like taste like salt. This will remind you though. But this you can see my answer key is that don't copy out for me. Use your own words. Um, if you wanna add your if you wanna add your answers a little bit easier, then you can or you can use your own words and think about yourself, not mine. Pardon me. Pardon me. Responsibilities. All right, this is for child development, which is for Scotty, known as Caden Pinkerton, and it says my name, Quentin. Okay, so nutrients. Okay, so we did this previously here. What is it? Emotional or physical care to give into someone. What are the examples of the things parents are responsible for? Taking care of or protecting their children. How can we know if the parent is being tortured? Not not tortured, but nurtured or nurtured. Some kids may feel tortured if they are being like creeped out or something like that. I thought some children think that they might be tortured because they are getting because somebody's gonna go after them, but I don't think it is. Unless somebody's trying to hurt you, that might be a torture. Your parents have the right to defend you anywhere they have to. We'll never get tired of it. We need to keep the world safe. Were these needs meant for you to grow up? How are they, or how weren't they? How do you think this affected you? My parents has always been supportive and protective. I mean, I didn't I didn't answer this question or how weren't they? Socialization. What is it? Trains them to live in a big society. How can parents foster it? How can we make sure that children are growing socially? By having them to meet new people and by teaching them about the world. Were these needs met for you growing up? How are they or how weren't they? Yes, because I am very open up about the world and its people, how they are. How do you think this has affected you? It affects us with a sense of spirit of how people are. Guidance and discipline. What is it? Every adult who cares for children has a responsibility to guide, correct, and socialize them toward appropriate behaviors. What is it? What is an example of guidance? It is an everyday situation. Tell your child specifically what to do rather than what not to do. What is an example of when you would need to use discipline? As a timeout a child who has just pushed his sibling. What are some good disciplines choices for a parent to pick up from? Supportive discipline. How are you disciplined growing up? How did your parents guide you? How do you think guidance is in discipline affected you? A lot of responsibility. Okay, so I'm gonna answer this question. How were you disciplined growing up? How did your parents guide you? Okay, so for me, for example, um, okay, so I don't normally get in timeouts when I was little. I didn't normally get in timeouts when I was little, really, but I accidentally broke something when I was like back when I was two. This was back in December of 2005, and I broke the vase by accident, and I did not realize that. So um, and I was kind of like I was like kind of like in timeout, and they just set the timer for 2 minutes. I think it's because I accidentally I was like I didn't mean to broke it. I just broke it by accident, and my mom told me, Quentin, no, you're gonna be in timeout, okay? And my mom just said, sit here. That's not a proper discipline, and that's not how you do it properly. But like she didn't give me a warning. She just put me there. Like, um, this was back at my other old house. Well, not the old house for the water's edge, but I think it was back at the old house for Enneberg. Yeah, Enneberg was a pretty much childhood of mine. Yeah, like yeah, Enneberg is where um since my parents lived in Enneberg since my brother was born. My brother was born in 2000 of November 23rd. He is 20 years old now. Yeah. He will be 21 this year in November 23rd. Okay, so back in 2005, back to that story, I sit there and I didn't really seem to mind, but my mom explained to me, look what you did. And I was trying to tell mom that, Mom, I didn't mean to broke it. I didn't mean to broke it. I don't know why he put me in timeout for no reason. Like, I mean, like, my mom kind of didn't discipline me very good, even though, she's very nervous about giving me a timeout. But, um, okay, so, I didn't really have any problems back for, like, 3, 4, 5, or 6. But, sometimes at 7 years old, back in, back when I was 7 years old, back in 10 years ago, um, like I got in timeout. I got in I got in timeout for no reason. Like just because I accidentally pushed Graham when I just because well not pushed Graham but just because I accidentally stepped Graham by accident and I did not realize that. And my mom just putting me in timeout for like no absolute reason. I always get blamed for no reason that I didn't even do. Like I just did by accident or something that I didn't even do, and I get blamed on every single day. They think that I messed up the grapes. I don't know why they think I did, but um, if I did something by accident, then my brother will just tell me to get out of the room. It's like it's like keeping me out of that room. I mean, it's both of our rooms. Why would you lock me out? I didn't do anything wrong. I just did it by accident. Like some people will think it. I understand this is like an. I understand this is an accident, but you cannot like you can't uh, obviously you have to watch where you're going and you have to but sometimes when I get angry I just walk to my room and just lay in bed, not even say anything to anyone. All right, let's just go to drawing the four spheres. Spheres, okay. Drawing the four spheres. Define each of the following terms. Please list your source of each term. Then on the back of this sheet, draw a diagram that shows connections between each of the four basic subsystems of the Earth. Terms like system, geosphere, atmosphere, biosphere, and hydrosphere, all those things. I guess so. If you guys have any questions about my story, if you guys have any questions about the other assignments, let me know, and I'll be happy to help you. Um, I think you guys are pretty good. If you guys have any questions or concerns, like I said, let me know in the comments. Um, I have one question for you. How did your parents discipline you? Did they discipline you very well? Did they treat you very good? Have you ever done something bad by accident or on purpose? Let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer you. Well, not answer you, but just heart your comments in general. All right, see you guys in part 70.